Welcome to my world. Welcome to my dimension. Spency boy playing MX Sim? What the hell is going on here, dudes? Oh, man. Boy, we back in my dimension right here, boys. We back in my dimension here. They don't want me to get back in my world, dude. They don't want me to do it, dude. I'm telling you. Oh, man. So I haven't played MX Sim in like a month. Just, kind of letting you know, putting that out there. It's been about a month. So, but we're going to get back in here. My plan is to get a little bit of a warm-up vibe going here before the 2022 shit in the game. My plans are to potentially race a couple of organized races in this game next year. We'll see what happens with that, but I'm at least going to be semi-prepared for that. Got a little semi-action going here, boys and girls. But yeah, it's pretty weird when you don't play a simulator for like an entire month. It's pretty weird, dude. Pretty weird, bruh. What's up, MLG? What's up, dude? You know I had to hit you with that MX Sim stream, dude. You know I had to hit you with that. We're not going to be doing any multiplayer today, but we will have some multiplayer MX Sim streams coming up real soon. We will have that coming up real soon, dogs. Bill says, am I seeing this right? The Spency Boy on Sim live stream? Yeah, dog. You're seeing it, dude. I know. It's crazy, dude. I haven't even made a video on this game in like a month. Or more. Hell, it's probably been more than a month. But I literally haven't even touched this game in like at least 3 weeks to a month. Which is pretty long time for me, man. Pretty long time for me. But MX Sim's got that vibe to it where once you start getting back into it, man, it's a good old time. I'm telling you. You get back on these 2017 style tracks in single player, you turn that fucking concrete-ass terrain deformation system off. It's a good time, dude. I'm telling you, dude. It's a good old time, brother, man. Spency boy back on a simulator. It's insane out here, dudes. Kind of crazy out here, dudes. Spency boy just fifth gear tapped out through these whoops, dog. This rhythm right here is fucking Mac Daddy. I'm going to have to get my skills back to hit that again. Yeah, we're just doing a little warming up. Just a little warming up, a little on the hands. Just a little warming up, you know what I'm saying? No big deal. Probably the biggest whoops ever on an RF track ever right there, by the way. If you want to get good at this game, get on this 2017 Oakland Supercross track, dog. If you can hit everything on this track and you can get through the whoops on this track, you're going to be ready for just about anything that they can throw at you as far as pro track design in the game. Pretty much anything, dude. I miss these days really bad, man. I miss these days really, really, really bad, dude. Like, oh, dudes. Back on that 13, that That 13 Zuki, dude. Oh, man. This gives me those good old vibes, dude. Back when I first got into this game, and it was like the 2011 Suzuki Dyno that everybody was running in the game. So many people ran this this bike model right here back in those days. Brings back a lot of good memories, dude. MX Sim, like, it's still that same great, amazing game, right? Even though MX Bikes is doing a lot of other things that this game is not doing, which is really good for MX Bikes. This game still has a lot of potential fun to it, dude. It does. Like, I don't care what anybody says. It's not like MX Bikes' physics system is like getting outran or something like that. I mean, you could definitely say that about the terrain deformation of this game, the graphics of this game, a bunch of other things, but the physics is still there, dude. It's still there, dude. You know what I mean? It was so good for its time. It's kind of like Reflex. You're never gonna... it's never going to get old in that sense. You know what I mean? It's never going to get old in the physics sense of it. It'll get old in the graphics sense, you know, Minecraft level graphics. It'll get old in the terrain deformation sense and some other elements of the game. But when it comes to straight up physics, nah, dog. Nah, dog. This is not online right now, by the way. I just wanted to get in here in some single player. I got to warm back up in this game, dude. Hands getting cold in the game, dude. We got to warm back up before I get in any kind of multiplayer action again on this. Dude asking chat, am I actually going to race in the upcoming season on MX Sim? I'm planning on doing some races, dude. Yeah, I saw that Supercross 5 trailer just dropped. I mean... yeah, I'll probably make a video on that Supercross 5 shit here pretty soon. Probably will. Look at these whoop daddies. All right, let me actually focus up here a little bit for a couple laps. Now we're in that kind of game where I can't really fucking talk very much if I want to go fast. It takes way too much focus in this game, dude. Way too much focus, dude. But this is my world. Like... You want to come step in my world? Then I'll show you how good I am at a motocross game, right? It's like, this is really the only motocross game I care about looking any kind of fast in or trying to be some, you know, fast pro dude in. This is the only one I really try to do that in. So it's like, okay, you know, if you want to step into my world, be my guest. You can come step into my world. You know what I mean? It's just kind of the way it is, dogs. But there for the longest time, like, of course, MX Bikes has kind of changed the landscape of everything nowadays, but there for the longest time, MX Sim was all there was if you really wanted to do that professional pro racing type shit. It's all there was. So it's like, it's funny to me now how MX Bikes has kind of changed that dynamic a little bit because... You know, now you got kind of a different thing over here, but nonetheless, I mean, still to this day, if you want to step your toes in my world, be my guest, dude. Be my guest. It's funny when we start talking about MX Sim, all these big hosses and all these big dogs, now they're quiet, now they're shush, huh? It's kind of funny how that works. Now it's crickets, boy. They don't want to race me on MX Sim. They don't want to do that. No. They want all the smoke in all these other games, and when we start talking about MX Sim, oh, man, gets quiet real quick, don't it? Gets quiet real quick, dude. You gotta love it, bruh. All right, let me try to get some laps together here. Fucking love this whoop section. Whoever designed this whoop section on this track, dogs, that was so badass. Love this whoop section, dude. So much fun. These 17 tracks, still to this day, man, I love to go back and play on these, bruh. Like, they're just a good old time, dude. This is the kind of game where I actually care about getting a fast lap time, or I actually care about trying to let me get a 0.1 second a lap quicker. All those other games, I'm telling you, dude, I don't even care to do that. Like, I don't even care. It's a totally different kind of mindset when you actually care about going fast in a particular motocross game, and in other motocross games, you're just kind of trying to have more fun with them than you are trying to go fast in them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a whole different way of looking at it. But we will have some MX Sim multiplayer streams coming up. Make sure you got all the 2017 RF Supercross and National tracks downloaded, because we will be doing some multiplayer racing action on that shit. 59.9, slow as hell. We can definitely run quicker than that on this. I think my fastest on this track's like at 56. But you got to hit that Quad Daddy Fatty in the back. What's up, boys? Just tuning in. Spency Boy just taking it back to the very beginning of his channel right here, playing MXM for the first time in a month. Kind of crazy out here, bruh. There's just something about old MXM, dude. I don't know how to explain it. Like, just something about the feeling. I don't know, man. Something about it. Yep, it's Minecraft level graphics. Yes, it is. It's, you know, concrete-ass terrain deformation. It's all this other horse shit, but whew, that feeling, dude. That feeling, dude. There's the fatty line, dudes. There's that fatty line, dudes. Then you got to hit these whoops, 5th gear tapped. Shit. These whoops are no joke, dude. It's going to take me a minute to get these down again. These kind of whoops, like, you got to be a big dog to even get through them. There ain't no, like, well, I can be pretty good at the game and still get through them. No. It's like big dog or nothing getting through these whoops. But yeah, just for future reference, future MX Sim multiplayer streams, the main tracks we're going to be on is 2017 RF Supercross and Nationals. Make sure you got all that shit downloaded if you want to partake in that when we do those streams. Because I don't give a shit about riding on any of those, like, 1920 fucking boring-ass, smooth-ass. I don't care anything about that, riding on those tracks. Those tracks that are made around the road, I have no ambition to come in here and ride on those. Absolutely no, like, I don't want to do any of that. That is straight up not fun for me at all, bro. At all, bro. Spency Boy been popping off of these live streams, though, dude. Spency Boy been popping off of these live streams, though, bro. But yeah. This is that one game that I actually care about as far as, like, let me flex my motocross skill muscles here in a game, you know? This is the only one I really put that kind of time in to do that in it, you know? It's just man, people really don't understand the difference in, like, taking a motocross game seriously and, like, just taking it, like, halfway seriously. There's a real big difference in just kind of getting in there, having some fun, like, progressing in a game. Even Reflex nowadays, like, I ain't trying to be no Reflex pro daddy. You know what I mean? I'm still just having a good time on Reflex. MX Sim, on the other hand, this is where you prove your shit, dude. Like, you know, I mean, yeah, all the other games are fun and everything, and you can still prove some stuff in those games, but, like, this is where you really put the Mac Daddy shit down, dude. This is where you really do it at. It's one of those things, it's like, you know, MX Simulator's kind of built up such a reputation of being such a difficult game, such a hard game to master, that it really, like, until you've done it on MX Sim, you ain't really done it, dude. I hate to break it to some of you, but that's the honest to goodness truth. Like, it's just that kind of game, dude. It really is. Like, and MX Bikes is a good old time. Don't ever get that twisted, dude. I'm having a lot of fun on MX Bikes. It is an awesome time. But, like, when it comes down to, like, prove your fucking shit, like, man. It's just, this game to me feels so, like, the bike takes so much effort. Takes so much effort on the thumbsticks to get across these kind of obstacles. There's nothing about this game that like holds your hand. You know what I mean? There's nothing about it that does that. You got to do it all, dude. That's kind of what makes MX Sim what it is, man. Like these whoops right here. Oh, good luck, brother. Good luck, brother. All right, let's try to get on one here. Spency boy about to open up the T-valve right now, dudes. Spency boy about to open up that T-valve right now, dudes. Oh, that quad daddy. Still remember the pro race on this track where I was trying to go outside in that corner and trying to hit the big line, and dudes would take that corner so far inside to where they weren't even going to hit the big line, but they could make the pass there. Right? That was a cool little spot right there. But yeah, we got some MX Sim shit on the way, dudes. All it takes is for me to start playing this game again, and then I'm back in it 100%, dude. That's all it takes, bro. That's all it takes, bro. There's just, even to this day, and like I'm saying, I have a great time with MX bikes, and I can totally understand that's some people's vibe. Like, I totally get it, you know? Some people really want to get deep into that game. I totally understand. But for me personally, there's just something about MX Simulator that pulls me in and doesn't let me go. You know what I mean? There's just something, even after putting 8,000 plus hours into it, it always brings me back, dude. Always. Something about it always brings me back. And I'm just like, just a little hop, skip, step away from getting right back into it just like I was before, you know? All it takes is just like right here, I can start to feel that vibe on the track again, and it's like, dude, I get that feeling again, dude. That unexplainable feeling that I don't get in literally any other game, period. Okay? That kind of feeling, right? That's what makes MX Sim for me, dude. It's I don't know. It gets to that unexplainable point, man. Certainly. All right, let's see where we're at here. 21 dudes in the chat. What's up, boys? Spency boy just taking her back. Another around that 58. Got that 58. Got that 58. We can get it down on the 57s. If I remember properly on this 17 Oakland, it was like 57s consistently would have won the main event, but dudes were running 56s here and there. I think 56 was the fastest in qualifying. It's crazy I can still remember this shit, but I think 50... See, once you guys know how I talk about like whether I'm playing Reflex or MX bikes or whatever, I'm like, dogs, I don't even care about my lap time, don't even care about... Well, this is the game where I do care about it. This is a game where we can get in here and talk about lap times. We can get in here and talk about step into my world, okay? It's funny to me how so many dudes, they want all the smoke right until the point we start talking about MX Simulator, then it goes quiet. Then it shh, quiet. We don't want the smoke anymore. We don't want it on MX Sim with Spency boy. No. We don't want it on MX Sim. No, dude. Definitely not on MX Sim. No. They don't want to step into my world. I'm telling you right now. They don't want to step into my world, dude. The game I actually try at, you know, the game I actually care about being fast at, they don't want to step into that world. No. Definitely not that, dude. Definitely not that. Dude, I could play... Oh, man. I've already played this game for fucking way too much time, and I could play it for another way too much time. It's just crazy, dude. You gotta have a keen... Like, to really get into MX Simulator nowadays, you gotta have a keen ability to kind of block out the graphics. You gotta have a keen ability to kind of... You gotta block out everything else other than the feeling of the bike, you know? Because it's outran as far as graphics and fucking lot of shit, you know. Certainly getting outran. And a lot of people have a lot of trouble looking past stuff like that in these games. Quad daddying. Gotta get that quad daddy down again. Gotta get that quad daddy down again. Oh, and another little thing right here. I'm having to play this in a lower resolution and a way less of a frame rate than I'm used to playing it. I'm used to playing this game 2K 144 frames, but when I'm live streaming this, I have to play it 60 frames because I don't have two PCs to actually live stream this shit, so I'm gonna have to get used to this a little bit, but I'm playing it like I used to on my mom's Dell PC back in 2015, dude. Got the standard resolution, no G-Sync, got some fucking 60 FPS MX Sim action, dude. It's a little tricky, especially in a game like this where every little micro movement makes all the difference in the world. It's a little tricky on a game like this to play with a lower frame rate than you're used to playing with. It definitely takes a little bit of an adjustment period, without a doubt. We're about to get that line back down. We're about to get it back down. It's tough to get all the way over that table right out the jump. Sup, boys, just tuning in. Spincy Boy out here on the sim. Spincy Boy about to get sim popping back off, dude. Dude, if I come back in here and start doing live streams or I'm doing multiplayer races on these 17 tracks, oh my God, you don't even know the fun that could be had. You think Reflex multiplayer was fun? Like, oh, I'm making Reflex great again and all that shit, dude? I could literally pull MX Sim out of the grave. I literally could by going in here and doing races on live streams, dude. Telling you right now, dude. I'm telling you right now, dude. And I think the biggest thing, like whenever you start talking about MX bikes and MX Sim or Reflex or whatever, it's just you gotta understand that they're completely different games, you know? Like, I try my hardest not to like try to compare them. The only time I'll ever compare them is if certain individuals are trying to compare them and act like this one's like this over that one. But if it wasn't for that, dude, I wouldn't even compare them because they're not even the same. They're not even the same kind of games. They're completely different kind of games. Like, and that's what mind baffles me when certain individuals try to act like, well, this is, you know, better than that. I don't think any of these games are necessarily better than one or the other. Like when you talk about MX Sim, MX Bikes, and Reflex, I don't think any of them, you can't really say any of them's like better than the other. It's just, it's all in what kind of game you're trying to play, right? It's all in what kind of difficulty and experience you're looking for, right? It's like all this other shit, you know, goes into it, right? But when people want to start trying to compare them, then I'm going to start talking about comparisons, right? But I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even compare the shits. I wouldn't even do it. But they're all really fucking good, like, in their own right, you know? MX Bikes, MX Sim, and Reflex, that's the trio right there, boys and girls. That's the trio right there. That is the trio. Like, those three games are showing every other game how it's done in this motocross shit, without a doubt. And to some people that think that, like, MX Sim's physics is just outdated, or it's like shitty physics, or like everybody needs to just move on to another physics system, but Reflex and MX Sim, physics system-wise, you can't replace it. It pushed down a door that you can never really push down again. You know what I mean? Like, you can't replace it, dude. There is no replacing it. You can have something that's on a different vibe than it, but you can't replace it. That's the thing I get a little confused when people act like you can just replace Reflex's physics system, or like you can just replace MX Sim's physics system. No, you can't. What's up, Moto Mika? What's up? Got the turkey emoji, dude. Got that turkey emoji, dude. But it's, you know, we're in the state of mind where it's MX Sim doesn't have the hype around it right now. All the hype is around MX Bikes, right? And that's the nature of how games hype and honeymoon stages and everything. It's going to go back and forth, then it'll go to this game, then it'll go to that game. That's how it is. Like, I don't care who you are, you're not going to get the same viewership and view count on MX Sim shit as you would MX Bike shit right now. Period. You're just not. Like, I mean, there's just no question about that. You know what I mean? But MX Sim is very underground. It is still a very, very underground game. It's not on Steam. It's not on... I mean, there's so much shit that JLV needs to do with this game. It's like unbelievable. But again, though, the feeling of this game is undeniable. It's undeniable. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot more camera options. MX Bikes is blowing this game out of the water as far as camera options, and you can get way more of that like helmet cam looking vibe on MX Bikes than you can on MX Sim. Holy lag. And like if you could experience MX Simulator with the camera options of MX Bikes and the graphics of MX Bikes, it'd be a whole different discussion, right? It'd be a whole different conversation. But again, this game came out in 2007. It came out the same year that Untamed came out. So, put a little bit of respect on MX Sim's name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, good God almighty, dude. Came out in 2007, dude. Like, let's just keep it real right now. This shit was legendary for what it was. This was demortally legendary for what it was. Way ahead of its time. Not graphically, but physics-wise, absolute mountains ahead of its time, dude. Mountains ahead. Sup, boys in chat. Let's get on a new track here. Boy, them 17s, oh boy. Gotta love him 17s, boy. Let's do a little Toronto vibes. Oh, hang on just a second. Let's do a little... Dude, them 14 tracks are kind of kick-ass too. Let me see what I got going here. Fuck it, let's do a little Daytoner. Let's do a little Daytoner. But that's kind of the world that we live in, Every motocross game has its benefits and its negatives, It's like, it just does. Man, this brings back so many memories right here, dude. Brings back so many memories, dude. Dude saying gameplay volume is low. Well, that's because I have ducking turned on. So if I shut my trap, then you'll hear it more. But when I'm talking, it's going to lower that audio down. Big dog. Yeah, to some people that never got to the point to really feel what I feel on MX Sim... Man, I feel sorry for you, dude. I really do. To some people that never got that feeling on a 450, never got it loose enough, never got it, just never felt it, Never felt what I felt in this game. I feel really sorry for you, dude, because I'm telling you right now, there ain't nothing else like this. There ain't nothing else like this kind of feeling. Like, MX Bikes is cool in its own right, Reflex is cool in its own right, but there ain't nothing else like this kind of feeling. There's just not. And I'm not saying any one of them's better than the other. They're just different kinds of feelings. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I've always tried to preach. It's not about one of these games being better than the other. They're just all a different kind of a feeling. That's really all it comes down to at the end of the day. They're a different kind of a way of experiencing the game and a feeling to the game. Right? That's at the end of the day, that's all it really is, dude. But I think, like, a lot of people, they never even got that feeling in this game. That's one of the most sad parts about it. It's very, very hard to advance yourself enough in this game to be able to get the bike loose enough to where you can actually control it, and you've played it enough and built up that mind muscle memory enough where you can actually control the shit when it's loose as a goose, you know what I'm saying? And, then it, like, to me, this is going to sound crazy, but to me, with how much I've played MX Sim and the level I've gotten at and, like, how loose I've got the bike and everything, it literally almost feels like I'm playing Reflex at this point on MX Sim with how much I've played it. Like, you can definitely get to the point in this game where you get enough skilled in the game where it feels kind of like you're playing Reflex in a way, But you got to play it an absolute metric shitload to get to that kind of point. And when I say it feels like Reflex, I don't mean it's like the same difficulty or skill gap or anything like that. I'm just saying you can start to vibe the bike like you would on Reflex once you get to a certain point on this shit. You can really start to get it there, dude. Telling you, bro. Telling you, bro. Yeah. They don't want to step into my world, dude. Promise you, bro. Promise you, bro. They don't want to step into my world. And that's really all I have to say to any of those guys that are real big into trying to flex their muscles like, ooh, I'm the best motocross gamer there is, right? Any guys that are trying to flex their muscles in a certain motocross game, you know, I don't want to take it here, but push me to the edge so it really ain't my motherfucking fault, man. If you want to flex your muscles and you want to act like you're a big dog at something in this motocross gaming shit, well, come in here and step into my world. And I will put it to you, dude. I will put it to you. I promise. I promise. I promise I will show you you're not as big dog as you think you are. I promise. But that's the thing. They don't want to step into my world. That's all it comes down to. They don't want to step into my world. It's very, very simple to understand this. It's not a complicated thing. It's really not. But again, you know, this is like, that's all it really comes down to, dude. If I wasn't playing MX Sim, I'd be taking a different game that seriously, whether it would be like MX Bikes or Reflex or whatever, and then that would be the game that I would be saying, you know, let me try to race you in it, bro. Let me get a faster lap time than you, bro. Let me do all this, but I'm not even doing that. Like, I'm not even doing that in any other game than this. Even when I get in there on Reflex and some fun little multiplayer streams and I get some pro dudes in there, yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, I'm trying to go fast in the game, but it's a different kind of mentality, dude. It's a different way of playing it, dude. This shit right here is like, I play this game. This is what I do, dog. Like, if we want to talk about who's better at what, all we got to do is sit down in my world. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. But most people don't want to sit down in my world because they know what's going to happen. They know exactly what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, very funny to me. You get the big dogs acting like they're such big hosses, but the second we start talking about MX Sim, that goes right out the window. Now it's quiet. Now it's shush, boy. Now it's no. We can't do that. All right, let's get to a different track here. Oh, that Indy track, though, dude. I love all these 17 tracks. Nowadays, when I go back to them, let's get on a little Seattle. Dude asked, am I going to buy a Supercross 5? Yeah. Just to make videos on it, though. To be honest with you, that early gameplay and trailer that I saw, I mean, it doesn't really look like anything crazy. It's about, like, exactly what I expected. Oh, dudes. Any boys remember this track? Oh, dudes. We got way too much history on this shit, boy. We got way too much history on this shit, boy. We're about to vibe right here, though. Watch this shit play out, boy. Ain't played this shit in a month, and I'm fucking already big dog. We already big dogging. Oh, that's a Mac Daddy. That is a big boy quad right there, dude. That thing was so scary trying to hit on the pro race of this track. That was so scary. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know, it should be pretty damn obvious. Like, if I've never raced a single organized race in one of these particular games, whether it's Reflex or MX Bikes or All Out or Monster Energy Supercross game or whatever, if I've never even raced an organized race, fuck talking about a pro race, if I've never even raced an organized race in those games, it's pretty damn obvious I'm not taking it that serious. It cracks me up when dudes will tell me, dude, come race me in this one. Dude, you suck at this. Come race me, bro. It's like, dog, I've not even raced a single organized race in the entire game. Like, it's pretty damn obvious I don't care about that in the game. But, you know, people got to one-up the Spency boy, right? Always got to one-up the Spency boy. But that's what happens. If you ever get pretty good at one of these games, especially like a simulator vibe game, everybody's going to be at your ass. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to be trying to prove their self over you, right? And when they really try to prove themselves over you in a different game than that game that you got really good at, odds are they're doing that because they can't beat you in that game that you're really good at. So then they got to come over here and try to beat you in this weird little different thing that you don't really play, right? It's just funny, man. It's funny when you see that sort of mentality in people. Very, very funny. There's a quad daddy right here, too. I've been kind of scared to hit it. Got this nice little inside rut. Oh, and I'm just chilling right now on MXM, by the way. We are straight chilling. We ain't even on the NOS button yet. We ain't opened up that T-valve yet. We will open it up, though. Don't you worry about it. Big quad there, but it takes basically perfection transitional jumping right there. Takes perfection transitional jumping right there. Then you got all them pre-made ruts coming out of that corner. Oh, man. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, like, you give me a solid week to get ready for any kind of event or race in this game, and I fucking promise you, I can run with anybody in this game. I'm not saying I'm better than everybody in this game, or I can win a championship over somebody in this game or whatever, but any given night, dude, I can run with the boys in this game. Like, straight up. I've done it countless times before. Certainly on the Supercross shit. Certainly when they get some skill-gapped ass Supercross rhythms. I can run with anybody in this game, dude. It just all, once you get to that kind of level, it just all depends on the kind of start you get in a race, and that makes a big difference, because then you get, if you don't get a good start, then you get pushed back to the back, then you got a lot of potential collision moments and takeout moments, and once you get to that pro level in this game, it's, you can't have those kind of mistakes regardless. I think my fast lap on this is like a 55, so we ain't even touched back up on that yet. We'll get there, though. 30 dudes in the chat. 30. What's up, boys? Spency Boy taking her back. We got a little J. Cole off-season vibes going right now, dude. Oh, man. Spency Boy just, oh, man. We're just warming the hands up, by the way. Stuck my hands right in the fire. We're getting them warmed up, dude. We're getting them straight warmed up, dude. Nope, this is my first day back on sim in literally a month or more. So it always takes me a couple days to get that, you know, alien mode speed back in the game. Takes me a couple days to get that back. It is so weird playing this game on 60 FPS, though. That is so weird. You get so used to, when you get it up there in the 120, 140 type frame rate, you can control the bike so much better. Like, if you're playing this game on 60 FPS, you need to upgrade your PC. Not just, like, yeah, obviously this ancient, Minecraft graphic game can handle a shitty computer, but, like, you're going to be able to control the bike so much better on a higher frame rate, like G-Sync style monitor, 2K monitor. You're going to be able to control the bike. I'm telling you right now, so much better in this game with that, because I'm having to play this shit on 1080 60 FPS to do this live stream, and it's way more difficult to actually control the bike. So much more difficult. There's that quad daddy. I think me and Fresquez was some of the only boys hitting that when this pro race actually happened. Well, I swear to God, me and him were some of the only dudes hitting that on this. He was hitting it in the fucking race a couple times. I think I hit it maybe once or twice in the actual main event of this, but dude, that's so sketch when you're in a good position and you know you got to hit those Mac Daddy lines to really keep yourself up there. It's a crazy balance. When you start getting on the 450 in this game, and you get on these tracks that actually have 450 specific lines that you're straight up not going to be able to hit on a 250, no matter how good you are on a 250. Once you start getting to that kind of point in this game, like that jump right there is another one, It takes the game to a whole nother level. It certainly does. And to be completely honest with you, I've never been the biggest fan of the 250 feeling of the 250 in this game. It's got a little bit more of a like a slidey type vibe to it. Kind of more of a slicker, slidey type physics to the cornering of the 250 in this game. I was never the biggest fan of that. I always vibed a lot better on the 450 in this game. It just felt better to me. So I could certainly see where if people got on the 250s in this game, how they would definitely get a certain kind of vibe that is completely different from the kind of vibe that I get out of this game, right? I think a lot of people get that feeling like, man, I need to start on the 250, but you're getting a very different kind of experience out of the game if you've only ever really played this game on a 250. You're getting a very, very different experience out of it. Oh, I see you, dog. It's cool to see those names back in the chat here, dudes. Really cool. I appreciate all you boys tuning in. Dude says, bro, you made me buy Sim, and now I still watch you. You always have inspired me. Good spelling, big dog. I appreciate you, Drew. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I inspired, between 2015 to, 18... I probably sold at least a good 1,000 copies of this game for JLV. At least a hot 1,000. No doubt about it, dude. At least a hot 1,000. Oh, that quad's a stretch. That's a stretch, daddy, right there, dudes. Got the T in me going quad to quad. But yeah, I think... we'll see what all happens with MX Sim this next year. I'm going to get back into some custom track making for this game, hardcore, next year. So that'll be really fun. I definitely think MX Sim still has its place. Even though it's past its prime, I genuinely do believe that it still has its place. It's kind of like Reflex. I mean, Reflex is kind of past its prime too, but it still has a place because it was undeniably good. It's the same way with MX Sim. Yes, it's totally past its prime. MX Bikes is the game right now. All the hype is around MX Bikes. No question about it. Right? But these games still have their place. They're not going to die out like a damn, like a official Monster Energy Supercross game or like a MXGP 2019 game or something like. It's not gonna be like that. I think a lot of people think it's gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that, dude. I'm just telling you. For Reflex or MX Sim or MX Bikes down the road, MX Bikes is starting to get itself to a point where it's undeniably, never gonna just totally fall off the face of the earth. You know what I mean? You get to a point where these particular games get so good at a certain time frame that you're always going to be able to go back and have fun on them. It's just like Reflex, it's just like MX Sim, and it's just like MX Bikes. I'm telling you right now, those 3 games are always going to be fun to come back and play, regardless of whatever the hell else is going on with whatever. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Those 3 games are always going to be fun to go back and play. They really are, man. And that's the thing, there's a lot of guys that have went from MX Sim to MX Bikes. There's a lot of guys that stayed on MX Sim. There's a lot of guys that stayed on Reflex, and it's, I don't like starting to get into this argument of which one's better than the other or why which one's better than the other. I've never actually said that. If you go back through any of my content, I've never said any of these games are better than the other game, ever. I've never said that. Because they're not even really comparable. You can try to compare them, and you can certainly compare certain elements of them, one of them having more movement, or one of them being more difficult, or one of them being more like this, but you really can't say any of them's better than the other. I just don't believe that kind of talking. There's a lot of guys that want to believe MX bikes is just better than everything, period. Right? There's a lot of guys want to think that way, and you got a lot of guys that want to think that MX Simulator is just better than anything, period. You got a lot of guys that want to think Reflex is better than anything, period. Dogs, they're all amazing games for what they are, you know? And I try my hardest to not get in that kind of back and forth between it, but sometimes it's just unavoidable. And it sucks that it's like that, because when I tell you I truly don't believe any of these games are quote-unquote better than the other, I'm telling you the goddamn truth. I'm telling you the truth. Do I prefer playing MX Simulator for the feeling over like an MX bikes currently? Yeah, I do. But again, that's not saying I think MX Simulator is just a better game. I don't believe that. Like, I really don't. And I don't believe Reflex is just a better game than like MX Sim or MX Bikes. I don't believe that either. You know? A lot of people get it real twisted, dog. I'm telling you. They get it real twisted. And I wish people could understand that. That's the shittiest part. Like, when I try to make a particular video on, like, you know, MX bikes and MX Sim versus this game and this and that, I wish more people could understand it's not me saying one of them's better than the other. I think a lot of people, they instantly kind of think that, but that's really not the truth. Dude says in chat, I'm a fan and all, but your gear is kind of old now. Dog, there ain't really no such thing on MX Sim, dude. You can still run fucking shit from 2013. You can run, like, I'm not the kind of guy that cares about having the newest model in the game or the newest bike model or the newest. I've never gave a shit about that. So, you're not really telling me anything right now. You know what I mean? I'll still run this inverted Galaxy 2013 RMZ. I'll still run this shit in fucking 2035, dude. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. But I don't really have like a dead set, like, okay, this is the gear that I'm always going to run, or this is the bike model I'm always going to run. I do change it up quite a bit, man. I actually do. Like, I still like to go in there and run the Yami model. I've ran the newer Yami model a couple times in this game. It's some of the newer bike models don't really vibe with me as much as far as like where they sit in relation to the handlebars in relation to where the bike is. They don't really vibe quite as good for me. That's why I don't really play with a lot of those newer bike models in this game. But as far as like the rider model, I really like running Galaxy gear in this game, and from what I know, there's not a whole lot of Galaxy gear made on a bunch of those newer rider models in the game, so that's another little element that I don't want to go in there and ride with some new rider model with some new generic gear that everybody and their grandmother is running in this game. I think you can kind of separate yourself now by running older shit in the game because everybody's running that newer shit in the game, right? So it's kind of a little thing I can just still run Galaxy gear, still run the kind of bike model that I want to run, and that's why I do it, you know? It's not like I'm just over here like, fuck it, dog. I don't know about any of these new bike models or any of these new gears and gear sets and shit. It's not like that. It's just, it's one of them things I prefer to run this kind of shit in the game. This is one of the smaller scaling 2017 tracks right here. It's definitely one of the smaller. Like, this is more akin to your type of scaling that you would see on most MX bikes Supercross tracks. But this is the only one that really feels this small in 2017 here. But yeah, we're going to be doing some MX Sim multiplayer streams coming up. Be sure you got all the 2017 Supercross and National tracks downloaded. RF 2017 Supercross and National tracks, aka the tracks they made before they started making them around the road, right? Make sure you got all those downloaded because those will be the ones that we run in multiplayer streams. Yeah, dog, you really need to try MX Sim or MX Bikes. Either one, dude. Either one, dude. Both of them will take you to another level. They really will. Like, both of them will straight take you to another level, dude. Let's get on a little Washugo, bruh. But yeah, I mean, viewership is not going to be crazy on MX Sim right now. Like, it's just not. Because like I say, in this more like hardcore type motocross gaming world, all the hype's around MX bikes, you know? So, like I say, you're just not going to get the same viewer count or viewership on a video or whatever. You're not going to get that on MX Sim like you would have got that on MX Sim back in 2017, 2018, 2019. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. Dude says, IDK what it is, but I cannot play MX Sim in first person, but I can in MX Bikes. Yeah, that's because MX Bikes has way more first person options. It's literally got 2 different first person cameras just right out the gate, which MX Sim doesn't have. And that second first person camera is a lot more like a what you'd call like a GoPro helmet cam-esque view of it. And so that if you could have that kind of view on MX Sim, oh man, it would be like a whole nother level of experiencing the game. I'm telling you right now, it'd be a whole nother way of experiencing the game. And on MX Bikes, you also have the option to turn it where it's not locked to the bike. That's another option that you just straight up do not have on MX Sim. You're forced to have it locked to the bike. I think that's a massive update they could potentially add to MX Sim is more first-person camera options. Like JLV, dude, you need to get on that. I don't know what the fuck you're working on at this point, but good God almighty, dude. You need to be doing some shit like that, dude. I'm just telling you. Because at this point, MX Sim is starting to get outran a little bit when it comes to first-person camera options. It just straight up is, like, no doubt about it. It needs more. It needs more options for the individuals that want a different kind of a first-person experience than this right here, you know? A lot of people want to have it more like not locked to the bike. A lot of people want to have it more like GoPro helmet cam-esque view. And you just don't really have that option right now on MX Sim, which is kind of sucks, but that's the way it is, dude. How many fucking jumps can we hit through this? Oh, my daddies. Daddies. It's going to take me a minute to get my shit back on these motocross tracks, boy. But yeah, to be completely honest with you, even though I'm the Spency boy, rant boy, drama boy, I've never really been the kind of guy to be like, hey bro, come race me in this game, dude, so I can prove that I'm better than you, so I can prove that I'm a better human being than you. Like, I've never been like that. Even though I could smoke literally 99.99% of people in this game, I don't portray that. I don't portray that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's very funny when I see these individuals that do try to portray that kind of vibe to me in a different kind of motocross game. It's like, bruh. I mean, if you want to take it there, we can take it there on MX Sim, but you don't want to take it there on MX Sim. You just want to take it there on the game that you're really good at, right? And it's just like, I don't care anything about that. I don't have this desire to like flex my MX Simulator muscles and try to, oh, I'm so much better than you and all this shit. I don't do that, but like the individuals that want to take it there, I'll take it there. You know what I mean? It's like, we can take it there if you want to take it there, but I don't just put that out there like that, you know? I've never been the kind of guy to just put that out there like that. There's a lot of dudes that do put that vibe out there for MX Sim, but I really don't. Dude says in chat, what would you prefer? Should I buy MX bikes and play it first, or MX Sim? I mean, at this point, shit, I don't even know, dude. I mean, you're probably going to have like a smoother experience if you buy MX bikes first. You know, and if you don't really have a lot of experience in these simulators and shit. You know, MX bikes is probably going to be, oh, by the way, all you dudes that think I'm an MX Sim fanboy, MX bikes hater, you do realize I'm literally advocating for MX bikes right now over MX simulator for a player that's never played a simulator. You do realize that, right? If I was such an MX bikes hater, I promise you I wouldn't be advocating this much for it. But I keep it 100 with you boys. A lot of people can't handle the truth, but I always keep it 100 with you, no matter what it is. I really don't have a fanboy connection to anything. I promise you I don't. Like, I mean, I love the shit out of MX Sim, don't get it twisted, but like, I'm still going to come out here and tell you the truth about what I think you should get before the other game, you know? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a shitload of experience into like reflex, you could probably get away with buying MX Sim before MX bikes. But if you don't have a whole lot of simulator experience and you're kind of more like casual type player, you're definitely going to have a smoother experience getting into MX bikes first. Number one, it's on Steam, so you don't have to worry about all the stupid little snapshots of MX Sim. So that's kind of a positive right out the gate right there. And I just feel like it's just, you got a little bit more of a helping hand on MX bikes than you do on MX Simulator. You got just that little bit more of a helping hand through the physics of the game. You really do, man. And that's going to help you a lot, because odds are, like, if you buy MX Simulator first, you're probably going to hit a fucking wall, like a literal rock wall, and you're going to feel like, oh my God, I can't even get past this. This game sucks. Whereas if you get into MX bikes first and then you get into MX Sim after the fact, you might have a little more experience in the shit, and it might make MX Sim not as brutal to you. You know what I'm saying? But of course, you got to remember that these games have completely different camera options. They got completely different. So if you get really used to a certain camera option on MX bikes, then it may feel kind of weird going to MX Sim. It may be kind of hard to find that sort of camera setting on MX Sim that's going to match what you got used to on MX bikes. You know what I'm saying? So you might run into a little bit of an issue there. TKO Smokey out here, the big dog. With the $10 super chat donation, he says, "What's up, big fatty daddy?" What's up, big dog? The absolute big hog, big dog, big hossin'. Oh, man. TKO Smokey taking it to another level. Okay, this dude says, "I have played Reflex since I was 8, and now I'm 12, and I'm quite good, but I'm not talking like I'm good. Got that good, bro." Well, in that case, I mean, I still think MX Bikes is probably going to be your safer route as far as that goes. Yeah, we can get on a little Bud the Tread. You know what I'm saying? Man, we gotta sip on that tea. Hang on just a second here. TKO straight the big dog, dude. TKO the big dog, dude. All these super chats you've sent me over these past few streams, I will never forget it, dude. I'm telling you right now, I will never forget that. Because this is kind of like a reincarnation of my channel happening right now, if you didn't notice. I mean, first time playing MX Sim in a month. Okay, we're going to get those MX bike streams coming up really soon. I mean, we're live streaming every motherfucking day. If this ain't a reincarnation, if this ain't like the biggest restart you've ever seen for my channel, then I don't even know what to tell you, because that's exactly what's happening right now. That's exactly what's happening right now. So my point in saying that is, like, It's really cool to see the support whenever I'm really trying to get the channel going again like this. I mean, this is like crucial to get support like that as far as memberships for the channel and super chats and all that. It means so much more to me now than it will, like, you know, 4 or 5 months from now. You know what I'm saying? It's going to mean so much more to me right now. Let me remember all these ruts on this track. Look at the pre-made, though, dudes. Man, I miss this pre-made, dude. This pre-made makes my mouth water a little bit, dude. This pre-made kind of makes that tea sweat out of my mouth a little bit, dude. You know what I mean? Oh, man. This just takes me back right here. Once I get on a track like this, I'm like, yep, this is it right here, dude. This is it right here, dude. This is definitely the vibe right here, dude. Why am I like just staying in 5th gear? Oh, my daddy's Spency boy. What the fuck? Dude asking chat, Spence, do you sit at all in sim or are you just leaning forward on corners? I've actually said this before. I've been asked this quite a few times. The only time I ever sit down in this game is when I'm trying to get just a little more lift up off of a jump face, like on a very particular kind of quad jump where I just need a little more lift off of it. That's the only time I ever sit down in this game. Ever. So all them motherfuckers act like you got to sit down in every corner and all that. No, you don't. I'm not saying you can't do that or it like won't fit you or fit your riding style or whatever, but like you don't have to do it. Don't ever think for a second that you have to sit down all the time in this game or whatever the fuck. No, you don't. And that's what a lot of people need to understand about when you start getting into like MX bikes or MX Sim. There's so many different ways to play these games because there's so many different ways to set the bike up and have your setup and all that. That like people need to really understand that just because one fast dude can do it a certain way doesn't mean that's the way you have to do it. You know what I mean? Like people really need to understand that. Certainly beginners in these games really need to understand that. There's a lot of different ways to go fast in these games. There's a lot of different kind of setups you can use to go fast in these games. There's not just like a one way fits all, one way you got to do it, you know. And I think if a lot more beginners could understand that, they would be a lot better off. I really do believe that. But yeah, the only time I sit down ever really is on particular quad Big Daddy Supercross jumps where I just need a little more like lift off of the jump. Not more distance, but more lift. You know, seat bouncing in this game really doesn't do a whole lot. If you're used to like a seat bounce button on an Unleashed or an Untamed or something, you're going to be madly disappointed when you realize the seat bounce or the sitting button of this game is not, it's not like that at all. It's very minute. It very, very minutely changes your trajectory on a jump face when you try to actually sit down on the lip of a jump face. It does very, very little, but at the same time, it does do a little. And in a simulator, a little bit goes a long ways. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the difference. A little bit goes a long ways in a simulator, dude. Let me get back on some Supercross shit here. Dude, it's probably been 3, 4, 5 months since I played on a motocross track in this game. It's been so long, dude. Like, oh my God. I can't even tell you the last time I rode on a motocross track in this game. Literally can't even tell you. No, MX Sim doesn't have the whip glitch. Sorry. Sorry. There's really not any super trick to this game. There's not any super, like, trick type thing. All I can really think of in this game that's like a whip glitch or like a clutch boost or whatever, all I can think about is really like maybe double shifting on like in a jump transition. That's the only thing that I can think is even close to that, but it's still nothing to what a whip glitch is for reflex or like anything like that. You know what I mean? It's still not like that. Fuck, I'm gonna have to get my leaning down again. What about the leg swag? You gotta love that leg swag on reflex, dude. You gotta love that leg swag on reflex, bruh. That is so badass being able to do that in that game. Alright, let me try to actually vibe here a little bit. It's weird because, like, I can play MX Sim kind of like I've been doing in this stream where I'm like 69% of my actual speed, right? And I can just kind of flow around the track, hit the jumps, but I'm not really on that edge. But for me to get back on that edge, I can't really talk. That's the problem. Like, MX Sim takes so much damn focus to be on that kind of edge. You really can't talk when you're playing the game like that. You just can't. Like, it's so fucking hard to do that. Or you'll make little mistakes. You'll make little mistakes like that right there, you know? But yeah, we're running about 69% of our actual skill right now in the game. So, just letting you know. Just letting you know. But yeah, come step into my world. Come step into my world for a minute. Then them big hosses turn into beginners real quick, don't they? It's kind of funny how that works, isn't it? Kind of cute how that works, isn't it? They turn into beginners real quick, don't they? But I should get a little better at being able to live stream and talk while I'm playing this game. That definitely is going to be a bit of a skill that I develop over time. Been a long time since I played a simulator on a live stream. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve and trying to play this game on 60 FPS again. Holy shit. Back on my mom's Dell PC again out here, dude. That's what it feels like. But I've raced a lot of pro races in this game on a damn literal your mom's Dell PC. 60 FPS, 1080p. I've done a lot of pro races on that like that in this game. So it's definitely possible. Now we're back hitting them quad daddies. Now we're back hitting them quad daddies. Dude, I just love the feeling of this game. Something about it, dude. It's so hard to explain. There ain't no explaining it. Once you get to this level in the game, there ain't no explaining what it feels like. And so many dudes have not experienced this in this game. I'm telling you right now, they've not experienced this in this game. There's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions on this game that have not experienced this feeling in this game. I'm just telling you. There's a lot of people like that. Kind of tricky hitting that inside rut. Now we're running about maybe 80% of my skill level. 105, I've ran a 102 or 3 on this track, so we can definitely be 2 or 3 seconds a lap quicker than that. Yeah. I love when boys want to flex their muscles on, they think they're so much better than me at a certain dirt bike game. Come step into my world, big dog. Come step into my world. See, that's really all it comes down to. That's why people are so thirsty, so foaming at the mouth to try to be better than me at a certain dirt bike game, because they know how good I was at MX Sim. They know how good I was, so they know they're never going to be able to be better than me at MX Sim. They just know it. They've accepted that deep in their soul. They've accepted that deep in their heart. They're never going to be able to do it to me on MX Sim. So they have to go try to do it on something else that I don't really play, that I don't really take that serious. You know, they have to go do it on something else. It's so funny when you realize, oh man, you gotta love it, dude. You gotta love it, dude. They don't want to smoke on the MX Sim, dude. They don't want to smoke on the MX Sim. Hell no. I knew I was gonna pop off on that originally. I mean, at some point. Yeah, MX bikes, I mean, here's the thing, like, I appreciate that, Austin. Appreciate you, buddy. Spence making all these games great again, dude. I promise you I can single-handedly pull MX Sim out of the grave. If I wanted to do that, I could do that. I promise you I could do that. It just all comes down to how back I get into the game and stuff like that, but I fucking promise you, if I wanted to, I could do that. I could reach my hand right down in that grave and pull this game right up out of it. I've tried my hardest to prevent it from going in the grave. All those RF rant videos, road rant videos, small-ass scaling track videos that I've made. I tried to prevent it from going in there, but they've let it go in there, right? They've kind of dug their own grave and just dropped MXM right down in it. So I've got to do RF jobs for them and try to pull that shit back out, right? But, like, I can only do so much. You know, JLV is going to have to get his A game together. He has to get this game on Steam, and he has to get more first-person camera options in this game. Period. Like, period. Holy shit, it's been a long time since I rode on this track. Oh, my God, that is so crazy getting back on this. I forgot about this track. Dude, it's been years, like a year at least, since I've rode on this track. Dude, had a lot of fun little multiplayer races on this one. A lot of fun little multiplayer races on this track, dude. Potential quad right here. Not a whole lot of separation on this track as far as rhythms, but it's got a fucking long-ass whoop section, dude. Long-ass whoop section. But yeah, we're going to have some MXM multiplayer streams coming up. Like I say, be sure you got these 17 Supercross and 17 national tracks downloaded, so you can be a part of that. I do have my own custom MXM. That's a quad fatty. Holy nuts. I don't know if that's even faster, but I don't think so. Don't think it is, but it could be. That felt pretty damn fast the way I just hit that right there. But yeah. But it's like, that's all it really comes down to at the end of the day, guys. Like, you know, I don't want to get into this, well, I'm better than you at this game, or I'm better than you at that motocross game. Look at me, I can flex my muscles more than you at this motocross game. I don't care anything about that. I don't even want to do that. But again, it gets back to that point of, you push me to the edge, so it really ain't my motherfucking fault, man. If we want to take it there, I'll take it there. You know? It's one of them things, I ain't going to start the fight, but I'll finish it. I can promise you that. But they don't even want to take it there. They act like they want to take it there. Well, I'm so much better than you at this certain motocross game. But as soon as I even begin to mention MXM, they're nowhere to be found. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? They disappeared. Oh, man. Oh, no. We got TKO Smokey out with another $5 super chat. He says, Spencer, I'm dropping a video today. Hope you like the title. Oh, man. Y'all boys, be sure and go support TKO Smokey. He supports the shit out of me on these live streams. Go click on his channel. Give him a sub. Give him some support, boys. Please. This guy's giving me way too much money out here. Please go support the guy. But it cracks me up, you know, still to this day, I'll have dudes they'll hit me up on you know, Steam, and they'll be like, Spence, come race me on Monster Energy Supercross 2, or Spence, come race me on MX Bikes, or whatever. And it's just like, bruh, bruh. And then I can turn that right back around on them and say, well, come race me on MXM, and then they won't even reply. You know what I mean? It's very, very funny how that works. Very funny how that works. This track right here had a bizarre-ass traction to it. I still ain't really fully understood what they did with this track. This one almost feels like sand. I had a lot of fun multiplayer races on this one, though. Damn, dog. A lot of fun races on this one. But yeah, it's, you know, if you're going to buy MX Simulator, you better know what the fuck you're getting into, dude, because it's It's so damn complicated to even understand this game in the first place. I don't even know how to explain it, dude. It's really hard, and it takes a lot of time and dedication to even understand the game. Fuck talking about getting fast at the game. To even understand the game in the first place is very hard. It's hard to understand, like, you know, raising your rider mass distribution slowly over time. People think they can just plug in a pro setup on their first day in this game. Good fucking luck. Good luck controlling that shit, because you have to build mind muscle memory over time, making the bike looser and looser over time. Boys, I'm giving you way too much advice out here. All you boys sticking around these streams, you'll get some big time advice for MX Sim. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. But that's what it's all about. You have to work that shit up slowly over time. Dude asked, do I still play Warzone? I haven't played it in a while, but I do want to get back in there and play that shit a little bit. Dude asked, yeah, what first-person shooters do you play? We're going to get some Halo Infinite live streams, some Call of Duty Vanguard sucks ass. We're definitely not going to play that. Maybe Battlefield 4042, I don't really know. Maybe some of that shit. I do want to go back in there and play some old school shooters, though. That would be a good little time. That'd be a fun little vibe. I love me some, like, original COD 4, World at War, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2. Oh, man. I love those games. Halo 1, 2, 3. Oh, dude. Those are, like, what I'd call my favorites. Like, Halo 1, 2, 3, Call of Duty 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know what 8 is, but kind of right in that era. Yeah, good old GoldenEye on the 64, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, I played some Medal of Honor back in the day. I'll be honest with you, I can't really remember much of it, but I did play. I played every shooter there was from, like, definitely from, like, 2000 to, like, 2010. Or even past that, but at least every shooter from that era. And then I also played some stuff that was older, right? But not like, I didn't play it when it came out, because I was too young at that point, you know? Boy, it's fun coming back here playing some MX Sim, dude. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Y'all boys can try to hate on this game all you want to, and that's fine. You can have your own opinion, but, like, there is still so much fun to be had in this game. Like, I don't care what anybody, you know, I've said this game was, the pro racing of this game was dead multiple times, okay? MX Sim is dying, MX Sim is dead, MX Sim's in the grave, MX rest in peace. You know, I've made plenty of videos like that, don't get me wrong, but again, the physics, you just can't, they're just undeniable. They're unbelievable. They really are. There's no other way to even say it. They're just something else, you know what I mean? Paintball mode. I appreciate you, Austin. Appreciate you tuning in. Have fun at work, dude. Try not to have too much fun at work, dude. Working hard or hardly working, dude. Richard says, have you seen Supercross 5 has been announced for March next year? Yeah, that's about when they typically come out. That's about typically when they come out. Yeah, I just watched that little announcement trailer shit for Supercross 5. I mean, just keep it completely real with you. It don't look like anything different. It really don't. I've not seen anything on it that actually looks like anything different. Just keeping it 100 with you, dude. Keep it 100, baby. Check out this line right here. I kind of fucked it up a little bit, but there's a quad right there you can hit. But yeah, if you ever want to start getting into that, well, how good is Spencer at dirt bike games? all you got to do is look at this game. That's all you got to do, man. Because this is the only one I even care about looking fast at or trying to be good at or trying to run a fast lap time at. You know, it cracks me up when I'll go in there and make like a Reflex video or an MX Bikes video or whatever. And some dude will hit me up like, Spence, I ran 1 second a lap faster than you or 2 seconds a lap faster than you or whatever. It's like, bruh. Come on now, big dog. Come on now. Meanwhile, I can literally Too Fast, Too Furious jump over that dude on MX Simulator, okay? You know, you gotta love the irony to it. This is a fun little section right here, because if you can hit it up the inside to triple, then you can really hit this quad. And, damn, I got a hair in my nose. It's itching like a motherfucker. Yeah, that Supercross 5 looks like the same thing. I'm just going to keep it real. I mean, it could be, like, decent or whatever, but it looks like the same thing to me. It really does. Looks like the exact same thing. Even, like, the whip, you can see it in the whip. They try to show the whip a little bit more. Check out that quad daddy, boys. Oh, that's a biggin. That's a biggin. Yeah, we got them 360 controller sound straight. You got to rip that shit to hook these lines on MX Sim, dude. You got to flick that controller, dude, like you're playing damn Unleashed Untamed. We'll see what they can do with Supercross 5, though. I don't want to jump the gun on, you know, saying too much about it, because from what I know, they've only come out with that one little, like, what, minute-long announcement video, if I'm not mistaken. Is that, like, the only thing they've come out with so far on it? Pretty sure it is. So, I mean, until I see a little more gameplay, I'm not gonna bust them too hard. You know what I mean? But as far as MXGP, you gotta love how it feels like we're just skipping right over MXGP 2021. Gotta love that, dude. Gotta love it. I actually think the triple there is faster because you get back on the ground quicker. Oh, that whoop section was gnarly as fuck in this pro race. It was fucking next level, dude. Now we're hitting that quad daddy. Now we're hitting that triple from the inside, daddies. Oh, you want to step into my world on MX Sim, do you? Do you really? Are you sure you want to do that? I don't think you want to do that, dude. I don't think you want to step into my world, dude. I really don't think you want to step into my world, dude. Man, I forgot how much I love this game. I forgot. I feel like this game, like, to be completely honest with you, and again, I'm no MX Bikes pro, okay, never claimed to be, but I feel like this game, genuinely, I feel like it takes more movement to keep the bike under control when you're hitting, like, Supercross level obstacles than MX Bikes does. It's like it takes more fucking movement to get it to do what you want it to do. At least it feels that way for me. That's a little difference I can notice about both of the games. And it's not, again, it's not saying one of them's better than the other. It's just that's a difference in them. You know what I mean? I really just don't feel like... I feel like this takes so much... Not so much more, but somewhat more actual movement to keep that bike from, like, stepping out in the roughness, to keep it steady in a fucking Mac Daddy whoop section. You know what I mean? It requires a little bit more movement to keep it under control. Holy shit. They come up short on that. Like, oh man. Yeah, and a lot of people do think that MX bikes is more fun because of it having more of an arcadey feeling, and that's fucking awesome. Like, see, people get so defensive whenever I say it's got more of an arcadey feeling, and I'm not even saying, I swear to God, I swear to Pastrana, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm not trying to say, oh, it's more arcadey, so that means MX Sim's more realistic, and MX Sim's so much better, and blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm trying to say. You know, some people want a little more like a MX Sim, but more of that arcadey feeling. And that goes back to what I was originally saying. You know, it depends on what kind of motocross gamer you are. Some people prefer that. And that's not saying one is better than the other. It's just the honest to goodness truth. It is the honest to goodness truth about both of the games. Like, a lot of people can't even really tell the difference in a arcadey feeling. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't even, they don't know what that actually means. They don't know what more of a arcadey feeling actually means. It's not just something being more difficult or something being more skill gap. There's more to it than that. It's a feeling thing. You know what I mean? It's one of those intangible, impossible to explain things. You just got to know. You really do. You just got to know. I need to hit that inside rut. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I think my fast lap on this was like a 54 or 53. So we're still a hot like 2-3 seconds off of our fastest shit on these tracks. It'll take me a couple days to get that kind of vibe back. We still got a little bit. We got a couple inches of rust still sitting on us here. Just a couple inches still sitting on us here. You really got to start carrying the speed out the corners to start cutting down them lap times. You got to really chain together the whole lap. I'm kind of just worried about getting through the obstacles right now. Not as much worried about let me chain a full lap together. But once you start doing that, then you can really start cutting down that lap time. All right, let's get on a different track. And this was when, like, right here at the tip end of 17 is when they started testing the erode. Like, right here at the very end. Let's do a little high point. Yes, I did see the announcement for Supercross 5. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did. Boy, it's cool to see the old names popping in chat every day, but it's also cool to see the new names popping in chat too. That's cool. That is very cool. Oh, and by the way, I got my graphics on literally half right now to avoid that weird little bullshit you get on YouTube whenever you got the ground quality too high, where it'll actually make it look grainy and weird, because it's got to go through that fucking encoding, whatever the hell process that it does, and it'll actually make the quality look worse on YouTube the higher quality that you have your dirt texture quality in the games. That's a little tip for some of you content creators. You want to lower that dirt quality as low as you can just about get it, and it'll smooth it out to the point where it avoids that issue on YouTube. But that's why I have my graphics on half. That's why they look a little bit Play-Doh-y right here. Because it actually makes it look more clear on YouTube. But you can get your graphics higher than this without a doubt on MX Sim. See, MX Sim's graphics, like, yes, they're literally Minecraft level graphics, but it really does all depend on how you're playing the game and what level of ground decals you're on in the game. Like, if you're on there on some fucking, like, 2K monitor, maxed out graphics on a Nicholas Sandbox National track, that really ain't that bad of graphics, dude. It's not like getting on there on a stock track with half graphics and, 1080p. There's like two completely different animals when you talk about graphics on MX Sim. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that. They have a hard time understanding that, at least. Whereas like on a game like MX Bikes, every track's a little more like that next level ground decal situation, because just about every track you're riding on MX Bikes was made after 2019 or 2020. Whereas in this game, you still got a lot of tracks that were made back in like 12, 13, 14. Shit, some tracks were made back in 2007 in this game. So you got all different varying levels of actual dirt resolution and dirt texture levels, and all that shit makes a big difference, dude. I know whenever I got a 2K monitor and started playing this game on it, it was a whole nother level of a graphical experience. Like, if you've never played MXM on 2K, I'm pretty sure you can play it in 4K as well, but it'll take it to another level for you, dude. I'm telling you right now, it'll take it to another level, which, of course, that's not how I'm live streaming this right now, because trying to live stream in 2K and fucking 144 frames, I don't even know if you can do that on YouTube. I still think 60 is the max on YouTube. But a lot of people don't understand that sort of thing about MX Sim. They'll just see like a couple tracks, or they'll see like a lower graphic, literally playing the game on your mom's Dell PC type situation on a track from 2007. And I think they get a very specific idea in their head of what they think the whole game's graphics looks like. And yes, it is an older graphical engine. This is not going to be like a, no matter what you're on in this game, it's not going to be the same level as like a MX Bikes graphics. But at the same time, you can get this game to look a lot better than I think a lot of people think it can look. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you're on, and how you're running it. Dude ask, let me look right here. Hang on just a second. Can you race it red, bud? Dude ask, is there a left and right lean in the game? SYS was talking about on their whip tutorial. So that's the interesting difference about this game and MX Bikes. MX Bikes does have a left-right lean. Technically, this game just has a turn left and right and then a lean forward and back. But I'm telling you right now, there's more to it than that. Something in these physics, even though you don't technically have a lean left and right, it feels like you do. I don't know any other way to explain it, but other than that, but it feels like you do. Even though there's technically not, it feels like you do. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, dude. But yeah, I think technically there's not actually a lean left and right in this game. But the way the physics work and the way you kind of have to, the way you have to turn and to keep the bike up and all that, it in a way kind of feels like there is when there isn't. You know what I mean? I don't know any other way to explain it than that, but that's the honest to goodness truth, dude. Oh, here's a really good question right here. Dude asking chat, do you think the physics of MX Bikes will get harder over time, or will they keep the same level as it is now? Well, it's kind of hard to, once you get it developed to a certain type point, it's really hard to change it at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it's really fucking hard to change it. I don't think MX Bikes is going to get all that much more difficult or whatever. I really don't. Like, they can make the tracks more difficult than they are right now, for sure. And it'll get a little more difficult, a little more skill gapped. And I'm sure they'll probably make updates to the way the bike reacts in the whoops and stuff like that to give you a little more of that forward and backwards type shit. But I don't think it's going to be like, it's not going to really change the game. I think they've already kind of gotten past that point with the development of MX Bikes. I don't think you're going to see like a massive, definitely not at this point, you're not going to see a massive change in difficulty to the physics or whatever. I don't think you're going to see it. Like, you'll see some changes and some variations, but you're not going to see like oh my God, now all of a sudden they did a MX Bikes beta and now it's like twice as hard and twice as skill gapped. I don't think you're ever going to see that. I could be wrong, but the chances of that realistically happening now that they've got it kind of to the point that it is, I just don't think they're not going to change it that much at this point. You know what I mean? They're just not, like, straight up. But that's just the way I believe about it. Just how with MX Sim now, you know, they've added physics updates over this game, over the life cycle of this game. I still remember that update when they added the high-speed, low-speed compression shit and rebound, which changed the physics a little bit. It's went through a couple little changes, and obviously anytime you get new dynos in these games, you're going to kind of have like a slightly different feel to it with the power curves of the bike and everything like that. But overall, I think I like MX Sims never really had like a fucking crazy drastic, oh my God, one update totally changed the physics of the game. Some people may claim that, but that's not really the truth. It's more so been like a slow, very, very slow little update here and there. And then after, 10 years, you got somewhat of a different feeling than you had in 2007 when the game first came out, But MX Bikes is already to that point where it's kind of been out for like, whatever, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. Obviously, it's still been in beta, but you know what I'm saying. They've been developing on that physics system for 4 or 5 years now, and then however much they did before that. So at this point, I really don't think they're going to do all that much with MX Bikes' physics, because now you got all the fanboys that are going to be telling Poboso to not change anything. Don't change anything. It's perfect. Now you're kind of getting to that point, and so even if they had the thought of wanting to change something or whatever, I don't think they're going to, because they've already kind of established, especially with all the hype around the game now, I bet you they'll try everything they can do to keep it like it is right now. You know what I mean? Kind of keep it in that same skill gap, difficulty, physics system. They may make slight changes, but I don't think they're going to do anything drastic at this point with MX Bikes. I just really don't. But that's just what I think about it. There's a fucking Mac Daddy line. You can jump plumb to that rough spot. Dude, it's been so long since I rode on these nationals. Oh, man. Holy shit, Spence. Settle down, dude. Opening up the T-valve too much. Okay. Oh, man. Getting a little too hyped up out here, dude. Got the flames literally shooting out of the back of the 2013 RMZ out here, dude. On a whole vibe out here, bruh. This track is pretty rough for an MX Sim track. It's not the roughest, but it's pretty rough. I mean, you can't be no scrub and be fifth gear tapped out on this kind of roughness in this game. But damn show. But it is a sand track, so it's got, more of that sand feeling to it. And that's the weird thing about MX Sim, like, there's a Big Daddy line right there. Even though there's no actual, what you'd call, cushion to the dirt in this game, there still is a variation between the way the dirt can feel, because you've got all of that, like, you've got a roll resistance, you can make literal concrete in this game with super traction. You can totally adjust on the traction and the couple different little settings in there on the dirt compound, and you can make something feel more like sand or more like brownie mixed dirt or more like mud. You can make a track more slick, more like mud. You can make a track more like concrete. You can do that, even though this game doesn't really have like what you'd call cush to it, It still does have some variation within the dirt compounds in the game. Whereas MX Bikes has more of an actual cush feeling, So then therefore you can have more of a terrain deformation feeling, because then it starts getting into more of that reflexy vibe where it's, you know, you can feel like you can kind of push the dirt a little bit. That's why MX Sim's a road system feels so damn blue grooved and hardcore. And I don't mean hardcore in a good way. I mean like it, even if you're on a sand track, it feels like blue groove dry deformation. You know, because there's no cushion to this game engine. And a lot of people get real tricked up on that when they talk about the erode of this game. Real tricked up. Dude says in chat, I think if MX Bikes changes the physics to a more difficult level, half of the public would leave. True. That is such a goddamn true statement, dude. Oh my God. That's the truest thing I've heard in a while. That's what's got so much hype around MX Bikes right now. A lot of guys can't understand this, but like when you get a game like MX Bikes where it's kind of got that simulator type feel, but then it's also got a little bit of an arcadey feel, it attracts so many more people to it than like a MX Sim where it's just fucking brutal, hardcore. You know, a lot of people just don't want that hard of a game. Like, period. A lot of people genuinely just don't want that hardcore of a game. And so a game like MX Bikes is going to appeal to so much more of a mass audience than MX Simulator is. Period. Without a doubt. Like, that's just a fact. And so I find it to be funny when some people act like MX Bikes is just as hardcore or just as brutal or whatever as MX Sim, because if that was the case, first of all, you wouldn't have nowhere near as many people as fast as they are on MX Bikes, and then also you wouldn't have as many like mass audience of people getting into MX Bikes if it was as brutal and as hardcore as MX Sim. You just wouldn't. Like, period. Again, it goes back to that original point I was making of, you know, it's like, it's all in the kind of game that you're wanting to play. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but one is definitely more brutal and definitely more difficult than the other. Without a doubt. But again, it gets back into that people try to defend MX Bikes because they think I'm trying to like discredit it, or, you know, that, well, MX Bikes is not as difficult, so it's a worse simulator or whatever. And that's not at all what I'm saying, but again, they're gonna try to defend it, and that's why they'll say things like that. You know, that's why they'll try to claim that it is just as difficult or it is just as skill gapped. And it's not. And it's not just about, like when I say like MX Bikes feels more arcadey, it's not just about the difficulty. It's not just about one of them being more brutal than the other. It's a feeling thing. That's where a lot of people get twisted. They think, well, Spence, you're just saying it's more difficult and more hardcore. How does that make it, you know, less arcadey? It's like, come on now. Like I said before, a lot of people can't even tell the difference in something feeling more arcadey or not. They don't even understand what that even is. They think they do, but they don't. It goes back to, like, if you can't feel that difference of MX Bikes feeling more arcadey than MX Sim, if you can't feel that, then you apparently can't really feel arcadey feeling in a dirt bike game. That's the only explanation for that. That's the only explanation for that. And it's not saying that MX Bikes is not realistic or it's not, or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's more arcadey than this. Not more arcadey than Reflex, not as arcadey as these arcade motocross games. You know, people get tricked up when I say more arcadey. They think I'm saying, oh my God, MX Bikes is an arcade game. And it's just not. That's not what I'm saying, dude. That's not what I'm saying, dude. Right? They get real tricked up when I'm trying to compare it directly to MX Sim. They get real tricked up in thinking I'm trying to compare it to, like, all motocross games, or I'm trying to compare it to like these other arcade motocross games. It's just not, dude. It's not what I'm doing, dude. All right, let's try to vibe on this track here. This one's pretty fun right here, boys. Got the quad fatty right here. You can almost fucking 5 that. Oh my God. Yeah, MX Bikes is still a great game, and they're doing really good things with it. I mean, don't ever get that twisted for a minute, dude. MX Bikes is fucking awesome. Like, it is. And I just wish more people could understand. I can say that at the same time that I'm saying it's not as difficult or hardcore or as much of a simulator as MX Simulator, right? You can have both of those opinions at the same time. Some people get that idea that those two opinions are kind of conflicting, but they're really not. They're really not. You know what I'm saying? But again, it goes back to that. If you could play MX Sim with all the different the first-person camera options of MX Bikes and the not lock to the bike and the better graphics that MX Bikes has, if you could experience MX Simulator like that, oh, man. I'm telling you right now, you would not have all those people trying to say MX Bikes is so much more realistic than MX Sim. If you could experience MX Sim that way, dude, I'm telling you right now. People have a real hard time with differentiating like the actual physical feeling when you're hitting an obstacle, you know? The physical feeling of a physics system. They have a hard time differentiating that and the way you're perceiving it, the way you're viewing it. All that shit makes a big difference, dude. Like, people get real tricked up on that, I've noticed. They have a real hard time differentiating physical feeling with perception. You know what I mean? It gets very complicated in actually understanding that and feeling that. It's very difficult for some people. There's a Mac Daddy quad right here, too. Oh, man, that one's tough. You got to hit that corner perfectamundo. Oh, so they got straight rhythm on Supercross 5? Interesting. That is certainly interesting, dude. Bro, we gotta go rip that JS7 compound real quick though, dude. But yeah, like, the more I get in here and do MX Sim multiplayer streams, dog, these streams will be popping off again on that. Faux show. For show. Boys, I appreciate you tuning in to another stream. We just out here having a good old time on old MX Sim, dude. Ain't played this shit in a month, dude. It's literally been a month, dude, since I've played this. If you can even believe that. I swear to Pastrana, it's been a month, dude. I mean, straight month, bro. I feel like MX Bikes went through a bit of an issue there for a while where people just had trouble, like the custom track makers had trouble getting the tracks to a good level. They're just now getting those MX Bikes custom tracks to a certain kind of level. They're just now doing it. And when I say just now, I mean like this year. You know what I mean? I don't mean like just now like today. I mean just now like this year. And I think that in itself is really helping MX Bikes. Because without the proper custom track content, you're kind of shit out of luck. You know? You can have the best physics in the world, but if you don't have the right kind of tracks, you can't really vibe on it, you know? But whereas like on MX Sim, I feel like it's had pretty good tracks made for it since like 2013, 2014, and all the way up from there. Of course, the tracks before that were like super slick and kind of shitty. But since then, though, you've had quite a few decent tracks made on MX Sim, whereas MX Bikes, it's like just now starting to get those better track designs. You know, like with the Netherlands MXGP track and some of those harder Supercross tracks that they're starting to make now. And that's something I spoke about MX Bikes a long time ago. Like, it needed better track designs, but they're just now starting to get it. So we'll see kind of how that develops, you know. If they just keep advancing the skill gap and scaling, I'm interested to see kind of how far they take it, as far as like what the custom track and kind of the MX Bikes community deems as like proper track scaling and proper, you know, pro jump size and stuff like that. That'll pretty much make or break the game in all reality, depending on how they do that. That'll pretty much make or break it, dude. You got to get that scaling right, dude. You got to get that scaling right. I think for the majority of the Supercross tracks, I'm not going to say every single one, but the majority of them, I think they could be amped up just a little more than where they're at right now. Like as far as scaling, how big the triple in out of the corner is. I think that shit could be advanced a little more than it is right now on MX Bikes. You know, scaling could be expanded just a little more than it currently is. I'm not going to say a lot more, but a little bit for sure. Spency boy just tossing it and saucing it. Holy shit. Let me figure out what the hell I'm doing on this rhythm. Okay. What's up, boys? Just tuning in. We're out here on the old James Stewie compound on the RMZ, just taking her back to when did Stuart first go to this Suzuki? I can't even remember exactly. Would have had to have been like 2013 or 2014. Gotta get a tea break, dude. Boy, it's fun getting back in here and just playing some MX Sim after not playing it for so long. Man, dude. It's fun. 2012, yeah. He went to that JGR Yammy and then was like, fuck this, bro. Fuck this, bro. But yeah, we're going to have all kinds of multiplayer fun in this game here in the near future. All kinds. So make sure you got all notifications set for the channel if you ever want to come in here and rip up some MX Sim multiplayer server lobby type shit. We'll be getting it going here, dude. Just wanted to keep it more chill today, though, because like I say, I haven't played this game in a month, so I kind of have to get used to playing it on stream again before I go right back into multiplayer streaming the shit. Gotta get a little used to this again. Used to playing it in 60 FPS 1080 again. This track right here is kind of... These Supercross tracks are kind of weird on this track. I mean, they're not like god-awful or anything, but they are a little bit weird. Transitions are a little bit weird. Definitely. Kind of figuring out the big rhythms as I go here. Whoa, shit. Spency boy ripping it. Spency boy ripping it. But even though I say, you know, MX Sim is the game that the only motocross game, only, okay, again, goes back to that. This is the only motocross game I've ever done even a organized race in the first place. All right. This is the only game I really give a shit about trying to be fast in or anything like that. But you can still play this game for fun. You know, don't ever get it twisted. Like, even though this game is brutal and hardcore and all that type of shit, you can still play this game for fun. Don't ever let somebody tell you, oh, you can't play MX Sim for fun or whatever. Don't let them tell you that, because I'm telling you right now, you can still play this game like that. It's just, you know, if you don't really get to a certain level, the bike is going to be a little more restrictive, so it's going to kind of restrict what you can do in the air as far as whipping the bike and turning the bike and all that type shit, your overall movement. So it's kind of like it's hard to have fun in this game unless you have taken it seriously at some point, because then you don't even have that full like movement out of the bike. Let me keep popping off. What's up, Dallas? You know what I'm saying? Whereas like a game like MX Bikes, I feel like you can start to have fun quicker on a game like MX Bikes than a game like MX Sim, because you can kind of get that overall movement quicker on MX Bikes than you can MX Sim. So that's why I recommend to some people that are kind of new to a simulator, you know, you're probably going to get more of an experience out of MX Bikes quicker than you would on MX Sim, because of that exact reason right there. And it's not to say that, like, you know, oh my God, your first day on MX Bikes, you're just going to be hauling ass and like taking names and, you know, having the full movement out of the bike the first day playing MX Bikes. That's not what I mean by that. You know, you can definitely still, it still takes a little bit of time on MX Bikes to kind of start getting that feeling out of it, but I don't think it takes as long as it would on something like this. It's not that I don't think, it's that I know that it doesn't take as long. What up, Dallas? What up, dude? We had to come in here and at least chill a little bit. Dude, these 14 tracks, though, oh, man. We got to ride on one of these damn 14 tracks, dude. I think it was 14. Oh, my gosh. These are really taking me back right here. This would have been, these 14 tracks would have been like some of the first shit I ever rode on in this game. Obviously, I went back and did a lot of multiplayer racing on the 11, 12s, and 13s shortly after this, but these were kind of like the new tracks in the game when I first got into it. These are basically the newest shits in the game at that point. Man, man, man. It is something else going back to these. Damn, dude. These were pretty fucking cool in their own right here. These were pretty damn cool in their own right. This track had a lot of traction on it for 14. Lots of traction. Just whipping it and ripping it. Just whipping it and T-sipping it. There was a Mac Daddy line right here, but I totally forgot what it was. I think it's just jumping to there. Yeah. You can actually sky out this finish line too. All the way past the berm and land like right on that berm. It's so hard to do that. Yeah, I do think that that's a tragedy if, you know, you bought MX Bikes and you got it and you enjoyed it and you played it, and then for whatever reason you just never bought MX Sim. You just never played MX Sim. That's kind of a tragedy, dude. It really is, because they're different games in the sense of, like, I think everybody needs to experience both, you know? Really experience both. And I don't mean like, you know, you play MX Bikes a shitload, then just barely play MX Sim. Like, you need to really experience both on all different kind of track designs in both. And if you don't, you're kind of missing out on a certain element of motocross gaming. You know what I'm saying? You're missing out on a certain way of playing these games if you don't do that. You know what I mean? Man, these 14 tracks, dude. Oh, bro. Let me come up short on the finish. Holy shit. These 14 tracks, though, dude. But yeah, I'm going to get me a dedicated MX Bike server, like fucking tonight or tomorrow. And we'll get them MX Bike streams popping off pronto ASAP, Rocky, before he can say, Bob's your uncle. We'll get them popping off soon, boys. I do need to make a video on Supercross 5. Need to test out my face cam a little bit. So we may have some videos coming up here soon. And then go into some MX Bikes live streams. Not really sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but we'll have something going. Dallas in chat asked, do you recommend getting Sim? I have friends to play with too. Yeah, dude, I recommend getting Reflex, MX Bikes, and MX Simulator. All three of those games are well worth your money. Though, like I say, that's the trio, dude. Like, those are by far worth your money more than any other motocross game. By far. And they're not even full price. None of those games are $60, by the way. So they're even more worth it. Moto Mika, dude, come on, man. You got to hop on some MX Sim, dude. Come on, bro. I mean, dude, when I start having these little multiplayer streams on MX Sim, there's going to be all different skill levels of people in here, dude. It's not as much like MX Bikes in the sense of, like, it feels to me like the majority of people are at least on a certain level on MX Bikes. You know what I mean? They can get around the track. They can hit the rhythms. They can get around the shit, you know? That's not the case on MX Sim. You got a lot of people can't even get around the fucking track, dude. But they're still going to get in here and participate in these you know, random multiplayer servers that I have. So you're going to have some dudes at your skill level, like, regardless. Trust me, dude. You got a lot of guys in that boat that can barely even get around the fucking track on Sim. You got a lot of people in that boat. Whereas MX Bikes, feel like way more people can at least get around the track on MX Bikes than they can on MX Sim. Way more. Way more. Dude says, where do you get MX Sim? It's not on Steam. Yeah, that's a fucking tragedy. That's one of the shittiest things about MX Sim. It's not on Steam. You got to go to the website. You got to go through all that bullshit. It's not fun. It's not fun going through all that. 14 hot Atlanta, dude. Trust me, dude, like, back when I had my... Oh, dude, this track was fucking fun back in the day. Yeah, trust me, dude. Like, even when I was doing my tryouts and we had these servers popping off back at, like, when I was doing all my team shit on MX Sim, we literally had full gates in this shit, like, every night. And there was quite a few dudes that were... you know, all different varying skill levels. You got, you know, at least, let's say there's a main event or like a full gate is like 20 dudes, right? Well, if I go in here and run like a random multiplayer server and live stream it, there's going to be at least a good like 5-10 dudes that can barely get around the track. I mean, barely even get around it. And then you're going to have like 1 or 2 dudes that literally can't even get around it at all. Then then you're going to have like another 5 dudes that can get around it, but they're not really scooting around it, right? Then you're going to have like another 5 dudes that can pretty well scoot around it. That's about what it was back when I was doing all that team shit, like random multiplayer server shit. That's about normally how it is, you know. You'll have like 3, 4, 5 dudes that are pretty quick, and then you'll have there's that triple right there, dude. This track was a lot more difficult on the older dynos, I'll tell you that for sure. That triple was Mac Daddy on that older dyno. That's another weird thing about these simulators. When they add newer dynos that get faster and faster, MX Bikes is going through this as well. Maybe that's why they added that update to MX Bikes that actually slowed you down a little bit in the game in general. But nonetheless, the faster and the faster you make the dynos, you know, it starts to get to a point where now you're riding on the older tracks differently than you would have back in the day. You know, so that's kind of an interesting little deal, but I think it's okay because a lot of these older tracks, like even if you go to the 13 tracks with a new bike dyno, it's kind of cool because you can hit even bigger rhythms. You know, you can hit shit that you couldn't even hit back in the day. So it's kind of like a whole new way to experience these tracks that you never really felt beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that triple right there was tough because that corner was so smooth. This one too. Man, this brings back some memories on this one, dude. Bring back the memories on this one. Damn, dude. It is actually fucking unbelievable how much more time I put into this game than like a MX bikes or something like that, dude. Oh my God. Like I can't even explain it. Just so different, dude. Like completely different. Man, it's so crazy looking back at these tracks. So crazy, dude. 15 Daytona, that would have been the first pro race I ever did in this game was on 15 Daytona. Dude asking chat, Spencer, do you know if the creator of MXM made any other games? I don't think he did. Don't think he did, man. This was like his sweet little baby right here. Pretty damn impressive that one singular dude made this back in 2007. Like, put some respect on MXM's name, you know what I mean? Birdman out here. Put some respect on his name, dude. That's what cracks me up when certain individuals act like MXM is just like, that's a thing of the past. Why would you even play that terrible thing, dude? Why would you even play that stupid, old, terrible thing? Bruh, come on now. Come on now. Some people are kind of over disrespecting MXM right now. I will say that. Some people are definitely doing that because they're really trying to push this agenda of MX bikes taking over everything. So they're going to try to claim that MXM is the most terrible thing ever. But the reality of it is you can still have a shitload of fun in this game. Like, still to this day. And there's still custom tracks coming out for this game nonstop. There's still full-blown pro racing in this game. It's not as good as it once was, but there still is. This game is still going, dude. Whenever I say this game like died or it's dead or whatever, what I mean by that is it's not the same thing that it was back before 2018. It's not to say it's totally dead, but it's not the same thing it was back before 2018. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of people hate MX Sim because of that hardcore learning curve. That's exactly what makes them hate MX Sim and love MX bikes. That's exactly what does it for a lot of people. You start to hit those 300-foot tall walls on MX Sim when you're trying to learn the game, and it's like, oh man. Sometimes it can be really discouraging when you hit those walls and you feel like no matter how much you play the game, you just can't get past it. You know, MX Bikes is not really like that. It's just not. I don't care what anybody says. It's just really not like that. I mean, you'll hit some amount of like hitting a wall on MX Bikes. I'm not saying there's none of that feeling, but it ain't like MX Sims hitting a wall feeling. MX Sims hitting a wall feeling is like getting straight knocked out, dude. And MX Bikes is a little more like a slap in the face, you know what I mean? It's kind of two different levels. Oh my God, that was such a Mac Daddy jump to there. Well, here's the thing, you know, when you talk about how long it took me to get good at MX Sim, the more important thing to understand is how much I was playing it comparative to like MX Bikes. That's the more important thing because, yeah, I mean, when you look back at it, like I got good at MX Sim pretty quick, but I was also playing it for 8 to 10 hours a day. And I mean never missing a fucking day. And I mean multiplayer racing for 8 to 10 hours a day. Okay? So in the grand scheme, yeah, it didn't take me forever to get really good at it, but that's because I was playing it like a fucking madman. You know what I mean? Like I literally was playing it like a fucking madman. So that's kind of what makes the difference, you know? And that's how, like, you know, I'm still not really good at MX bikes, but I've been, quote unquote, playing it for like 4 or 5 years. But when you play it once every 3 or 4 months, that's a totally different animal than playing it every single day for 8 to 10 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? It's all in how much you play it, not how long you've been playing it. That's a really good way to say it. It's all in how consistently you've played it for a certain amount of time, not just how long you've played it in general. You know what I mean? That's pretty much everything to it. Like, if you want to get good at any of these simulators, multiplayer, do random online multiplayer racing for 8 hours a day for like 5 months straight, and you will get good at these games. There's really no other way around it. Like, you will fucking get good at these games, dude. There's nothing else to it, really. Yeah, you know, me making all that video about MX bikes is easy and all that, right? That was a total, like, let's fucking play around with these MX bikes fanboys. That's pretty damn obvious. MX bikes is not what you'd call just a easy game when you compare it to, like, every motocross game, right? But that was kind of the whole point of that video. I was playing around, right? But when you compare it to MX Sim, it is a little more on that easier side, right? That's the thing. It's not like saying, you know, when I said MX bikes was easy, what it really meant was MX bikes was easier than this hardcore brutal ass shit of MX Sim. You know, that's more like what I was saying within that. But, you know, we got to put in them clever little titles to get everybody riled up and get more views and get more comments on the video. Then the video gets bigger, then I make more money, and you know how that goes. So, but yeah, don't ever think for a second that I was trying to say MX Bikes was just an easy game compared to like all motocross games, because that is certainly not what I was saying with that. Certainly not. It is harder than any other game other than MX Simulator. For sure. Like, for sure. You know what I mean? It definitely is. It's easier than I thought it was, though. That was kind of the other thing to those videos. I definitely think MX Bikes, it's easier than I thought it was. That's kind of what I was getting across in that video as well. Not saying it's an easy dirt bike game, but it's easier than I thought it was. But yeah, it is certainly another level. You know, MX Bikes is another level than the difficulty of like Reflex or fucking whatever other kind of motocross game you want to compare it to, you know. Dude asking chat, is Moto Option owned by RF or is it its own thing? Yeah, that was actually my first team that I was on MX Sim, if you don't remember. I was actually on the real fucking Moto Option. I had like a discount code to the website and the whole ordeal. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird when you start getting into that discussion about like these particular teams and brands in MX Sim and shit, because there's a lot of people that are on like a Monster Energy Kawasaki team or like a Rockstar Husqvarna, and they're not really on that kind of team. You know what I mean? They just say that they are. They're just like running an MX Simulator version of it, but it's not really, right? Whereas like the moto option team that we had really was a fucking moto option team in the game. I'm not really down for all that, like, you're on a team that's not really the team. I've never really been a big fan of that at all. But yeah, I couldn't tell you really about moto option. I know it's always been somewhat integrated into gaming, but yeah. Damn, dude, this jump right here, though, dude, I'm having trouble hitting that from the inside, bruh. Yeah, I think, like, if I could explain it, that's one of the biggest things to explain the difference and the difficulty of both of the games is, like, so many more people are at least going to get around the track on MX bikes versus MX Sim. That's where the difficulty range is a lot different, like right there at the beginner to amateur type level, you know. There's going to be so many more people that can at least achieve that point on MX bikes, whereas so many people haven't even been able to achieve that on MX Sim. You know what I'm saying? So many people haven't even been able to get there on MX Sim. But yeah, once you start getting to that super pro level, then yeah, it's, you know, you can separate yourself in either one of the games, but man, this track right here. Purple. Got the purple seats in the back, dude. Had a lot of races on this one. Oh, man. A lot of multiplayer races on this one. That was a fun triple right there. This crazy-ass rhythm right here, dude. Check this shit out. Oh, my lamp. Gotta really avoid that stripper pole, though. That stripper pole tear your ass up, boy. Gotta avoid that. Yeah, we're going to have some MX Sim multiplayer streams coming up, though. I know this stream's probably not quite as fun because you guys can't really interact with it, like getting in here and riding with me, but we will have some MX Sim multiplayer streams coming up real soon, dude. This stream right here is literally a testing stream for that, exactly. So, we will have those MX Sim multiplayer streams on the way, brothers. It's on the way, bros. But yeah, some people that genuinely can't admit to themselves that MX Simulator is more difficult than MX Bikes, I don't even know, like, what else to say. It's like, if you can't see that, if you can't feel that, dude, I don't even know what else to say. You know, it gets to that point where you can't even explain it anymore to a person. They're just not gonna accept it, or they don't want to accept it, or whatever. But again, it goes back to that, it's not saying one's better than the other. That's not what difficulty means. You know what I mean? Because like what MX Bikes is doing is they're taking that simulator type feel and applying it in a way to where it can really appeal to like a mass audience, you know, so they can get the most out of it as far as how many people can get into it and at least get somewhere in it, and, you know, all that kind of shit. They can at least appeal to more of an audience with making it more of that arcadey type feel, little bit easier. You know, it without a doubt allows more people to get into it. There's no question about it, which is actually a positive for it, but nonetheless, it's still really cool to have MX Sim, which is a totally different kind of game. You know what I mean? So you really have like your two different, it's fucking sick when you think about it, because now we've got a little bit of everything. We've got like whatever kind of gaming you want to do, you have an option for that, you know? If you want like an arcade game, but pretty hardcore, you got Reflex. If you want something easier than that, you got something like, you know, one of the Milestone games. If you want something a little more difficult in reflex, but not like fucking crazy, then you've got like more like into that MX Bikes range. And if you want something just fucking brutally crazy difficult, then you got MX Sim. You know, you kind of got a little bit of everything now, which is really cool. I love how MX Bikes is, you know, like that. I like that it's not like MX Sim. That's what I'm trying to say. I like that it's something different than MX Sim. But some people want to portray it like it's like MX Sim, but better than MX Sim. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. That's a stupid way to look at it. Because it's not like MX Sim. It's not. It's not the same kind of game. It's a different kind of game. You know? Which I think is awesome, by the way. I think that's only going to help everything in this motocross gaming shit. It's only going to make everything else better. Because, like, MX Bikes is going to force MX Sim to be better, and then MX Sim will get a little better, then that'll force... MX Sim has already forced MX Bikes to get where it is. You know what I mean? If there was no MX Sim, would MX Bikes really be what it is? I don't know. I think it's definitely influenced a lot of MX Bikes. So, like, both of the games kind of help each other get better. You know what I'm saying? They really do. Yeah, and I know it may not seem like this with the rant boy shit that I do, but I really try my hardest not to, like, make it sound like I'm complaining about the game, you know, because I'm never really complaining about the game. It's more so complaining about how people portray the game or how people want to try to act like this game's better than that game. You know, that's more what I'm complaining about than it is just complaining about the game itself. You know what I'm saying? There's a total difference between those two things. Total, complete difference between the two. Spency boy just out there kind of vibing right now on some MX Simulator. Got some MX Sim. Got a little MX Sim. Oh, shit. I accidentally shifted right there. But yeah, some of those MX Bikes fanboys are really going to have to calm down a little bit. They really are. Like, I get it, you know, the hype's around the game, everybody's spazzing out about it, but like, let's chill out just a little bit, dude. Let's chill out just a little bit, dude. And it's okay to be super excited about something, but, you know, you don't want to have that mentality of like, oh my God, this thing is fucking blowing everything completely out. This is the greatest thing that ever graced the earth. Like, you need to chill a little bit, you know? Need to chill a little bit if that's your opinion on any kind of game. I ain't even just talking about MX Bikes or whatever, any kind of game. You need to calm down a little because, you know, time will tell if it really will be whatever or really not whatever. But you certainly don't want to just jump to that conclusion. Time will definitely tell, you know. I think we're still going to have that LCQ Studios game, maybe at some point. And that was actually, I'm pretty sure, supposed to be like a arcade sim hybrid game. And so, you know, that game will probably come out at some point and then have to be developed and shit like that. But, like, you know, just how Poboso, I don't think anybody really expected Poboso to be like this, even be able to make a game like what MX Bikes is right now. So, just like that, you can have another company that'll come out here in the next 5-10 years that could potentially make something that's like MX Bikes, but even better. You just never know, dude. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. Like, that is certainly possible, though. I hate to say it, but that's certainly possible. Or make something not necessarily better than MX Bikes, but, you know, another different than MX Sim, different than MX Bikes, but still a really good dirt bike game. You know what I mean? That's also possible as well. What's up, RC Racer? What's up, dude? Appreciate you tuning back into another live stream, dude. Not doing any multiplayer on this one today, but we will be having some MX Sim multiplayer streams coming up soon. Those are going to be popping off like fucking no other. We're going to be getting on some of these 2017 RF tracks on Supercross and Motocross. So make sure you got those downloaded, and you'll be ready to rock and roll, dude. But yeah, I need to go in there and make a video on Supercross 5. Got a couple things to do. My dudes. I want to get in there and test out my face cam a little more with some videos. So there may be a couple days here in the near future where I upload a video instead of live streaming for that particular day, because I need to do some testing, and of course I need to do a video on Supercross 5. Got a couple things on the way. So if you don't see a stream on these next couple days, that's exactly what I'm doing. But you'll at least have some kind of content every day, whether it's a video or a stream or whatever. You'll at least have something going every day. I know I said there in some of these past streams, I'm streaming every motherfucking day, which I could easily do that, but also I need to develop some stuff over here on the side a little bit to make the streams better. Like I say, with testing out the face cam and shit and the videos, it's going to allow me to start doing that in the streams. So we got a couple things we're kind of trying to get rolling here, and then we'll roll all the rest of that shit out, dude. But yeah, I don't even know what to say about Supercross 5. I'm just going to keep it real with you right now. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just like, pff, I don't know, dogs. I don't even know. Looks like the same shit, but they all look like the same shit. So, pff, I don't know, dude. All right, boys. Either way, that's about it for this stream. Appreciate you tuning in. This was a little bit of a testing stream here, so we can do some MXM multiplayer shit here in the near future. But yeah, dogs, have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow with either a vid or a stream. Not really sure yet, but we'll have content popping off, no doubt about it. Okay? So, yeah, dogs, appreciate you. Oh, Spence. No, can't do it today. Sorry. Appreciate you boys tuning back in for another one. We got a lot of stuff in the future. Make sure you got all notifications set for the channel. We'll have it popping off, boys. Later, dudes.